There you go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are, at kung anong mga oras man dyan. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode, the last episode of the year of Money Lessons with FQ Mom and Sons. So, baka nagtataka kayo, diba? Ba't yung pangalan, FQ Mom and Sons? Tas, may gwapong son lang nandyan. So, hello, my name's Anton. I am FQ son number 3. And right now, so if you guys have been following us every Thursday, baka napansin niyo no, na it was one brother this other week, isang brother this other week, tas ako lang. Kasi alam mo naman sinasabi nila, diba? Save the best for last. So, mga naman, diba? Kailangan ganun. De, joke lang. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're safe. Alam ko sa balita, medyo nagiging na naman. But I hope you guys are still doing good. You're safe with your loved ones. Mag-New Year na. So if you guys are cramming those goals for 2020, kung may mga checklist pa kayo na di nyo pa natatapos, don't worry, may 2 days pa tayong, 2 days to do that. I remember there are a lot of times na 15 minutes na lang, di ko pa nagawa yung homework ko. Nagawa ko. So kung kaya ko gawin yung homework ko in 15 minutes, kaya nyong gawin yung resolutions nyo, yung 2020 resolutions nyo, in the last 2 days. Anyway, I won't be alone today. I'll be introducing you guys to our beautiful and talented guest in a bit. But just to give a background, no, kung bakit ito yung why we're gonna talk about this, how this is gonna relate to money. I do believe nga this crazy year of 2021 has been a year of big changes. We have learned to adapt in a way with the virus. We've learned how to do this hybrid thing, how to do all these virtual things. And I think nga, no, that all these changes that we're going through, it's not gonna stop. Like, things are gonna just keep on changing. And something na napansin ko, so I'm 25 years old now. Akala ko at this age, ano pa lang, like, lahat ng mga batchmates ko, we're still on our first few jobs, starting to figure things out. Pero bigla lang, may mga nagpapakasal na. There are people who are settling down, who are finding the loves of their life, who are moving on to the next phase of their life. And yung nga, as a 25-year-old, matagal-tagal pa ako doon eh. But my dear friend and our guest and no stranger to Kumu and all our viewers there, nagpakasal na siya recently. This is so papag-usapan natin yon. And of course, there are a lot of changes there. It's not just about changing your life, not just about changing how you go about every day, pero marami mga money matters din dun eh, diba? How is it like when may ibang tao ka na, you're not just spending for yourself na lang, or I don't know, how does this work? I know other couples have their own ways of doing things, so we're gonna get into that in just a bit. But first, let me give a shout out to all the people watching us right now. Naka 1,709 na tayo. And I know nga, no, lapit na mag-New Year, kakatapos lang ng Christmas, but that does not mean that you should stop exercising your generosity. So yung mga gifts dyan, guys, keep them sending. Hello, Ranspol Yap, I think nabati na kita. To Neil, 2222222, good morning. To user 12096725, to Raise.29, welcome to the sea. I like it. Kung caps lock, guys, kung magko-comment kayo, dapat naka-caps lock para magkakasaga. Welcome to the Scene Zone channel, FQ Mom. So yun, thank you for those sending the halo-halos. Please continue sending it and continue showing your love. And with that, I am very, very excited and proud to welcome our guest. So she is, hi, this woman is very, very talented. What is she? She's a commercial model. She is an events host. She is an influencer. She is Fitspiration, a social media star, and now newly a wife. Please welcome to the show, Dani Colette! Woo! Grabe, saying that name is bago siya, Dani Colette. Wow, Dani Colette, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Grabe naman yung social media star. parang ang laki naman ng expectation tuloy ng mga viewers natin sa akin.
No, I would say warranted naman yung whatever expectations they have. I know that you're no stranger here on Kumu. How many shows when did you start? I know you started hindi sa Kumu eh, but you were at Kumu for a long time. How long have you been this streaming part of your life?
So when I graduated 2017, I started streaming na. So mga three, ano na ba, 2021 na pala. It's
2021 na.
almost
Oo.
2022. 3 years. So I was streaming for a good 2 years, as in every day of my life for the whole 2 years.
Yeah.
Ganon. And then I stopped na when we became VJs.
Mm-hmm,
But right
mm-hmm.
before we became VJs, I was still streaming. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So this is no ano
yeah.
na, this is no when I invited Danny to be a guest, hindi ako kinabahan at all. There are times kasi we would have guests on the show na at first you kind of have to brief them and para make them feel comfortable, especially those na hindi masyado sanay in doing these things. But then I don't know, from all the guests that we've had, baka ikaw na yung pinakasanay kasi ikaw talaga yung who have been streaming for a very, very long time. But before we talk more about yung mga minention ko kanina, diba, marriage, the new life and everything, a very generic question, how have your holidays been, Danny?
Oh, quite. It's weird because last year, 22. Okay, I'm so lost.
You
2020.
know, wait lang, you know what, 2021, no? As in, when I was saying my intro, I was thinking, 2021, diba? Like,
Right?
it's been 2021 for 12 months, but it still doesn't, parang 2020 part 2
Right?
lang
Yeah,
nangyari. So,
oo.
anyway, you're
Parang
saying.
if there's a year na merong A and B, this is probably like 2020 B.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But
Tapos next
anyway,
year's 2022. As in,
two.
2020,
Two.
comma,
Oh my
TOO.
gosh! No, okay.
Tada naman
Anyway.
tayo.
But it
Ah.
feels weird kasi nga last year, it was no celebrations at all, or like super talagang within the family lang.
Mm-hmm.
Ganun. And then of course this year I'm a married woman, so I
Oh!
celebrated with my husband's family naman, 'di ba? Which,
Mm-hmm.
'di ba, like, oh, that's so weird. Oh my gosh, that so they welcomed me into the Colette clan, mga ganon. So it was just, oh, really? Yeah. And then yeah, but everyone's fully vaccinated now. So
Mm-mm.
I guess there's like a sense of, parang, okay, we're safer than
Oo.
2020. You know what I
Oo.
mean? Parang, okay, it's nice to know that everyone's fully vaccinated. It's nice to know that you can see other family members na, start seeing other family members and friends. So yeah, but okay naman holiday ko. Ikaw, kumusta naman ang holidays niyo?
Okay naman, okay naman. I got to see, two titas. So, ito na siya, parang 100% increase in the Christmas attendance. But I think a bigger thing, nga, it's the same with you. So you were already introduced to the Kagat clan. This isn't the first time naman that you saw your
Yeah,
husband's
it's not
extended relative.
naman.
Di naman. Because my brother also got, so same kayo ng year of engagement. Enrique's engaged, and then
Yeah.
Sam, the fiance, came over. So this is the first Christmas na she spent with us. And
Aww.
iba talaga. I had the thought about yung mga first Christmases. If you think about it, yung parents kasi natin, or especially also those two, yung mga viewers natin na you were able to have the joy of spending every Christmas you had growing up with your parents.
Yeah.
In my memory, my parents always had Christmas together. But before they were together, they had a lot of Christmases by themselves. My dad had his Christmas with his family lang. My mom had her Christmas with her family lang. Until they finally got married, diba? And ever since then, all Christmases were together. Now, as I look at it, si Enrique yung kapatid ko, this is the first. Like, ganito na. It's not, it feels new because it's different compared to how it was the past 24 years in my life. But now, diba? Until
Forever and
forever,
ever.
ganyan na.
And
So,
it's
I
gonna
don't,
get bigger. Even bigger pa.
hopefully,
Diba?
hopefully, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bigger talaga, hopefully kung wala na masyado yung COVID, no? Like, hopefully I get to see other relatives na rin
Yeah.
na hindi yung iisa, dalawa lang. But anyway, with that, no, naisip mo na ba yun, na you're starting new traditions, parang we've been through so much in the pandemic na parang, oh wow, ang dami ko
Yeah.
na pinagdaanan. Pero, we're starting pa lang. Like, your first Christmas as a wife, your first Christmas with a husband. How does that feel na parang, itong like, this is the first of many, na it's a first of something very, very new.
How does it feel?
Mm-mm.
Aside from feeling weird, of course it's surreal because I don't know, but when I was a girlfriend pa lang, I would imagine this na parang, oh, my
Oh,
family
yes.
would meet, and then Josh would spend time with my family, I would spend time with his family, mga ganon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nakakakilig, especially when I say, especially when kunwari, I meet someone out or like a friend, like, magkakasalubungan lang kayo, and then I'm with Josh, and I'd be like, oh, this is Josh, my husband. Eh!
Does it still feel weird? Does it still feel weird
It
from your mouth?
does. It does. Parang,
Ah,
oh,
okay.
I can't believe I just said husband. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
exciting siya because you have a person to spend the rest of your life with, and it's super. I'm just so grateful and thankful and blessed talaga that it's Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Ang ganda. Ang sweet naman. Let's backtrack though.
Okay.
I'm curious to ask about when did you know kasi from the years na nagkagaga tayo and we're friends, you talk about this, kinukwento mo na parang 'di ba na you love Josh, like nasa-sense ko yung mga hits na parang parang gusto na
Siya na.
magpakasal nito. Like gusto na mag-settle down. But when did you know? Was there a moment na you knew that you were ready? Was there one moment? Is this something na parang gradual ba? Paano yun?
Um, no, when we last talked, you asked us, diba? And then he answered on your podcast. He
Oh,
answered 20, what's that, 2022?
parang ano eh. Basta very, ikaw
2022
parang
or
mas matagal ba
2023?
yung, oo.
Yeah. Ang sagot ko 2026.
Mm-mm.
And then he answered
Layo pa nun.
2022.
Mm-mm.
2022. So basically, he was already set on that. And then the pandemic happened, lockdowns happened. And then when we realized na, it's so hard to, hindi naman hard, but it's, how nice would it be if we spent every day together na. Parang ganon. And then why do we need to wait pa if like, we know that it's us already, and then, we're such a good team kasi. And then, kasi during lockdown, he would spend some time here in our house
Mm-hmm.
while my parents were here. So, na-experience niya yung life here in Laguna. Tapos na-realize namin yung dynamics namin maganda, stuff like that. It was yeah, he would get tested and then he would come here,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Wait,
Um,
was it the podcast? Yung, when you guested on the podcast, did that start the conversation?
no, even before that, we were talking about it na. But, ang alam ko talaga kasi, 5 years pa. He was like, 5 years, 5 years. So, I was counting from 2020 and then plus 5. Yun pala,
Yeah.
5 years from when we started dating.
Which
So,
was
he's
in
like,
2019, no?
yeah, 2019. So, parang mga plus or minus 5 years. Ganun.
Gets.
And then when I heard na 2020, oh my gosh, that's already like that's like next year or something.
Mm.
So why weren't we planning? And then when 2021 hit, we're like, okay, sige, let's do this. And then we did a very quiet, very intimate wedding, which was perfect
Very
for us.
artista of you, I must say, of you guys. Nabigyan,
Hindi.
may kasal na to.
Hindi, kasi we just took the opportunity. Kasi, number one, you don't have to invite a lot of people.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
less gastos.
Oo nga, di
So,
ako invited eh.
hindi, kasi syempre we want to celebrate then with friends and family, more friends and family, probably
Yeah,
next
saka
year.
na.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when things are not crazy anymore. Yeah.
Okay. With the wedding though, with it happening quietly and everything, I gotta ask. So put na tayo sa money. Do you think it as a blight? So the pandemic, it's never a good thing. As in, I would not wish the experience of the pandemic to my worst enemy.
Right.
But we're here na, and we must
Yeah.
look at the. Wala na tayong choice to look at, but then to look at the positives. I'd say in your relationship, I guess a positive would be, since it's pandemic, parang kayo lang nakikita. Kasi but you get to see anybody else, so that allowed you to have the opportunity to see na for Josh to get along with your parents, to really spend time with them, and for you to see na parang okay, it works nga na he can fit in with my family, vice versa. Pero in the wedding sense, alam naman natin weddings are, it's not a joke yung paggastos. If you want to have a nice wedding, and I have benefited from that as a wedding host then, so syempre, di ba? Like, kung The bigger the
Right.
budget, diba? The bigger the smiles. Dami mga may flowers dyan, videographers, photographers. Do you take it as a blessing na may pandemic? So when you got married, parang, oh, nakatipid tayo.
Yeah. Okay, kwento. So, we were supposed to get married in Tagaytay.
Mhm.
So, meron na kaming budget doon, but still, it's still a DIY wedding. Same with my 18th birthday. Everything was DIY. My family, if you want to know something about my family, if you need to know something about my family, it's like
Yes, I
we
need.
really love DIYs. We love doing things on our
Mm.
own. Naka-budget talaga, something like that, because we don't see the point in like kami lang yun. I mean, we could spend the money elsewhere. Parang
Elsewhere.
ganon. Yeah. If we can do it on our own, why not?
Wait, paano yung debut though? Ah, sorry, can I be very commercial? Yung debut, ano,
Yeah,
what happened in the debut? Ikaw
ano
ba
siya,
nag-host
ito
ng
siya,
sarili mong debut?
no naman. But like my dad built stuff. My backdrop, stuff like
Oh,
that, yeah.
may theme?
My, Santorini, Greece. Because it's
Oh,
my dream
okay.
destination, stuff like that. Anyway,
Mm.
so yeah, going back to the question, I guess kasi nung 2020, I realized, oh, ang dami nagpapakasal, tapos small weddings, intimate
Pwede na.
gatherings, ganyan. Parang okay, nice idea. And then we saw this location in Tagaytay. It was a very nice location, super quaint, super rustic. It's a perfect place talaga. But then the lockdown happened. And then
Mm.
you're like, okay, what do we do? I don't want to push it back anymore. Kasi what if another lockdown happens?
Yeah.
Push na push na push. So you're like, okay, let's just do it at home. Classic fuerte style DIY thing. So we
Yeah.
did it at home. So we spent not even 10% of our original budget.
Wala naman kayo nagawang down payment
Wala,
or
wala.
anything for this
Yeah.
Tagaytay place, no?
In fairness to the restaurant location, events place, they're like, okay, ma'am, wag na po muna kayo mag down payment kasi we don't know what's going to happen. So, kasi early 2021 pa lang, I was already like, okay, pencil book me, what do I need to make, what payment do I have to make, blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, down payment po kayo pag near na. And then, boom, lockdown. So,
Yeah.
sakto, yeah, I didn't waste naman anymore.
Wow. Before I ask you my next question, shout out to our Chris. Sabi niya, VJ Dani is the best of stories. Wow. Vane25, hi po, from Negros Occidental. Wow, I like it na we have people all over the world watching
Yeah.
us.
And to
And
the Scene Zone viewers, hello. If you are here, if you can hear us, comment down anything, like your favorite emoji.
yes.
Anton, I always tell them to comment down their favorite emoji to start.
Okay,
Yes, it's Susie Marcos. Hello, Happy New
hello,
Year.
happy New Year's. Karen, thanks for the gift.
Newbie.
Bakit what's with the
Favorite
emoji?
emoji? Wala lang.
Favorite
Kasi
emoji.
feeling ko, you can tell a person's personality through their favorite emoji. Oh, what's
Okay.
yours?
Oh,
What's
I was
yours?
gonna say, guys, commercial muna tayo sa pera. I wanna know, ano tong
Uh,
yung favorite emoji ko, yung, alam mo yung,
alin?
parang wavy yung mouth niya.
Gets,
Um,
gets, gets.
tapos, gets mo? Do you have a
Oo.
favorite emoji? What's your favorite
Ako
emoji?
yung nakapout, yung puppy dog eyes na gano'n. Parang,
Oh, never ko yun ginagamit. Never ko yun
oh,
ginagamit. I
I
think about it,
always
ah.
use that.
Ano yung, what scenario would it make sense for me to use that emoji?
Like this one, I commented it on Kumu. This emoji.
Yeah, yeah,
If
masyadong
you're,
pabebe siya for me. Hindi ko branding.
oo, that's true, that's true.
Pero wait, comment ko
Sige, i-comment mo
yung
yung
favorite.
favorite mo.
It's,
Ayan, guys.
yun, that's my
Oh,
favorite one.
see.
That's my favorite. Oh, si Rance, I see yours, umiiyak. Sad.
Umiiyak.
Sana hindi ka ganun, that's not your feeling. That's not your
Pwede
emotion all
rin,
the time.
pwede rin kasi yung crying, parang, oh, I'm so touched, ganon. Parang,
Okay,
oh.
yeah. So that means nga, since ito yung favorite mo, pabebe ka. Like that's that's what it means.
Hindi, I'm just super emotional. Kunwari, may nakita kong puppy video
Oh,
on
yes.
Instagram. I'm like,
Gets.
or baby video. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
anyway.
Going back back to this wedding, back to the wedding and the planning. So nakatipid nga kayo and everything. But I don't know, as a couple that got married, had a small, 'di ba, wedding. As a child when you were growing up, did you have a dream wedding? I know that I have mga parang if I do and when I get married, parang I want this to happen, ganyan, ganyan. But I would imagine, it may be sexist of me, but I have watched 27 Dresses, diba? I've watched some of those
Right.
movies na the girl has that dream, like, diba? For some reason, even if a marriage wedding's two people, it's her special day. Parang, when I heard that, okay, sige, the girls are the ones who are gonna give birth naman. So, sige, sige na yung wedding. But, did you have that growing up? Did you have that parang, the dream na, I wanted my wedding to have this, mga non-negotiables? How was that like?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. Kasi my sister also had a very small wedding. So
Oh.
if I wanted anything, I wanted sana yun, yung what we were supposed to have in Tagaytay.
Mm-hmm.
Super small lang, tapos malamig,
Yeah, maganda
tapos
yung
may
vibes dun
view
eh.
ng mountains, and maganda yung
Mm.
sunset. Yun, ganun lang. Yun lang yung gusto ko. I
Mm-mm.
didn't have like a dream church or a dream events place or a dream host or a dream wedding gown. Not even. Wala.
Yeah.
Nothing. Hindi ako
Ito.
yung tipong, kasi my best friend, I know, she has like, she compiles like wedding
May ano
stuff.
siya? May clear book
Yeah!
siya? Ano? Pegs,
Yeah!
ganun.
Ako,
Mm.
wala. Wala talaga. Sige, go. The marriage,
Okay.
ako, my mom taught me na, yun, the marriage is more important.
Gets. Related to that, no, yung, when it comes to, kasi I think that's a financial thing. Parang, if you want all these things in your wedding, the thing you're gonna think about is, oh, gastos yan, gastos yan. I remember what my mom, one of the lessons I learned about money with my mom is, yung house namin, growing up, I really liked it. It was nice, diba? It looked really, as in maganda, as in pinag-isipan talaga siya, and it was really something that my mom worked on. And her explanation is, hindi siya masyadong mahilig sa mga designer bags, which is, buti na lang hindi ako babae din kasi, I don't know, I think I would be into designer bags if ever. Pero she
Oh.
said, I'd rather spend it on our home. Kasi this is something
Yes.
that we're gonna, every day, we're gonna see
Yeah.
compared to a bag. That's her thing. Actually, people spend their money on different things. But anyway, ito yung tanong ko. And my request is for you to be completely honest.
Okay.
Si Josh, meron ba siya mga dream, I'm here saying na it's a girl thing, pero wala ba?
Wala rin. Actually, if
Okay.
meron, if we were to do a bigger wedding, he would want to drive to the church in a big bike. Ganon. Like in a Harley or
Oh,
something. Yeah,
yes.
oo.
Naka-helmet?
Ah? Hindi na. Parang ano ka lang, or
Sayang yung hair,
short
no?
distance lang, tapos yung
Oo.
helmet na,
Pang
yung
video
hindi
lang.
hindi full helmet lang. Tapos
May
naka-shades,
helmet na hindi full
guwapo.
helmet?
Oh my gosh,
Biking
wait lang,
helmet?
Anton. What's happening? There's a storm coming. Joke. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a,
I saw your blinds moving nga eh.
oo nga eh. Oh my
Are you in
God.
Laguna now?
Yeah.
It's raining there?
It's not, but the winds are so,
Yee.
oh,
They're
scary.
just saying congratulations
I
to
know,
the
it's scary.
wedding. Narinig
Anyway,
tayo.
yeah, yung guwapo, tapos,
Oo.
yeah, jacket, ganun. Yun lang.
Oo.
But
I feel
aside
like
from that, wala. Small lang din.
you and Josh, you know how, okay, so si Enrique, diba, he's gonna get married na and later next year. Well, pati
Mm.
kaming us five, we're all kind of aware na parang, oh, we have to get fit. Like we have to look good in this wedding, diba? We got yung fitting namin ganyan. I feel like you and Josh, you never had to. You can decide, I want to get married tomorrow. My body's ready. But anyway, that's outside of my next question. My next question. Ito naman, so you said diba that marriage is more important. Like wedding is one day, it's very important too, but it's the everyday. And something that goes with that everyday, of course, is how you coexist with each other, how you guys balance each other out. And something that everybody has to deal with, I'd say, is finances. So
Mm.
it's already transition kung diba, you come from school na you have allowance and then you started making your own money and then you have to learn how to manage it. Now there's another person. So you're not just spending for yourself. It's a team thing na, and then there are different
Mm-mm.
sources of income. How do you guys go about this integrating your finances with each other? How do you find that balance? What works for you?
Oh my gosh, okay. We actually have had like several long talks about this. Kasi syempre,
Mhm.
before getting married, he was supporting his family he was the breadwinner of his family.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, how do we do this? How are we how are we going to, help out pa rin
Yeah.
when we can, ganun. Kasi in my family naman, they never, we weren't obligated to, like pitch in or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a privilege. Anyway, so nung nag-join na kami ng finances, ah, what, how do I say this? So, okay, the deal was, hindi naman siya, what's that, prenup? Not naman prenup, but
Okay.
the money that I had in my savings as a single
Mm-mm.
woman, that's mine.
Okay.
Yes, that's
And
mine.
then same for him.
Same for him. And then when the starting point of like us getting married, and then when we started saving na together as a married couple, that's ours
After
together
the
after
the wedding, after you guys
the
got
date of
married.
it. Oh,
Okay. So,
yeah.
so you have a joint account.
We do have
Okay.
a joint account.
And then how does this work? Everything. So, 'di ba, you had your own individual savings, your individual accounts, individual parang your own money before you guys
Yeah.
got married. So, now as you earn some more, what's this? Is it all to the joint account? Is it split? Parang there's no more in the solo account. Na how's anong patakaran sa Colette
Um,
household?
Paano nga ba? Yeah, kasi ang principle namin is we're now partners. We're
Mm-hmm.
now building our lives together. So it just makes sense na all our assets are going to be like shared assets na. So what's mine is his, what's his is mine, ganun, ganun. But of course, we earn, someone earns more than the other, right?
Yeah.
So hindi naman may iwasan yung, oh, but I want this. You know what I mean? Like, yun yung
Mm-mm.
laging, ang dami ko ng videos na napanood ng podcast na napakinggan na, what if I want this? And, I earned it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay lang, okay lang. Like, if I want to buy my own stuff, like, if I earned it, okay lang. Like, but I have to talk to him about it, and he has to talk to me about
Mm.
it. Stuff like that. But the priority is savings, of course, and our bills. So yun nga, you paying ourselves first, like
Yeah.
what you've been teaching everyone is to pay yourselves first. So yun yung priority, and then yung excess nun, yun na yung what we buy na once na. Yeah.
Mm.
But like, okay, if I have an extra, meron kasi akong projects na like lump sum siya. For
Yeah,
example,
or
think ko,
it's
so
not the same every month, eh, 'di ba?
yeah,
Yung
it's not
kita
the same
natin.
every month. So what we do, kasi it's kind of tricky actually. It's tricky.
Mm-mm.
Hindi siya like monthly na, okay, you expect. Although Josh has monthly because he's a streamer also eh. So meron kaming, we have a monthly na, okay, we know that this can go to our bills, for example.
Yeah.
And
Yung mga
then what
needs talaga. Yeah.
Hindi naman sa, I don't want to, kasi, us as a couple, we don't want to like, oh, like list down everything. Okay, I earned this, so this is going to my account, blah, 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 blah. We
Mhm.
don't want to do
Mhm.
that. I don't want to, personally, we don't want that to be a point of conflict for us as a
Yeah.
couple. So it's, parang, wala na. When you get married kasi, ako, personally, and si Josh, and thankfully, ganun din yung principle niya
Buti
and
na lang.
value niya.
Buti same.
Oo, buti same.
Hassle yun kung hindi.
We share everything. Like what I always hear from him is what's mine is yours, what's mine is yours. Yun nga
Mm-mm.
lang eh, hindi nga what's yours is mine eh. Yung sinasabi lang niya
Do
what's
you
mine
do you
is
say
yours.
it back? Do you say when he
Ha?
says what's mine is yours? Okay. Thank you.
No, I don't. Then joke. No, kasi of course, ako meron akong yung single pa lang ako, ang dami ko na, meron akong goals na, okay, I want to buy this, or like,
Mm,
buy this, I want to have this, stuff like that. Of course, I'm not gonna put that on hold just because I'm married na. And he knows na I'm able to, even if I'm already married to him.
yeah.
Kaya ko pa rin i-sustain yung wants ko. Ganon.
Yeah.
So, I still maintain my personal account, my savings account. So, going back, ang gulo. Naguguluhan
Yeah,
din
go
ako.
lang, go lang.
Um, I have a personal account. He has a personal account. He saves on his own what he can. But kunwari, let's say you save 20%. When we were single, 20%. Now it's 10% and then 20%. Parang ganon. So more
Mm.
na. Oo.
May
Kasi
may system na ba
20%
kayo?
sa, oo, meron. Parang more savings sa joint and then the other savings sa
The
personal.
Okay. So, yung mga personal accounts ninyo, that's more of like, I don't want to say extra, but let's say
Mm-mm.
you're planning to, I don't know, you want to save up to go shopping for shoes, for example. Parang, mas dun mo na kukunin. Or, and I wanted to ask this, Christmas happened recently.
Yeah.
How was the gift giving thing? I mean, it's funny kasi, example, yung Christmas gift ng mom ko sa dad ko, sa microphone, and ako yung nag-order kasi
Yeah.
ako yung alam ng ganun. And then what, I use kasi if yung mga big purchases online, ginagamit ko yung credit card ko, which is, like, yung connected sa account ng dad ko. So, alam niya, as in, kasi he would send me at the end of the month yung bill, and then I just send him
Oo.
yung mga kasi emergency na wala ka na cash or you have to use a card or something, then I just pay him at the end of the month. So, nakita yung mama. So, I was telling, ma, ikaw mag-explain dito, hindi ko to gastos. Ah." But, so, anyway, Christmas gifts. How did you guys go about your
How
first
did we?
Christmas gift giving as a
It
couple, as a
was
married
funny
couple?
because kami parang, okay, what's your Christmas gift to me? What's your Christmas gift to you? Last minute lang, parang,
Mm.
tapos last minute nasira yung chinelas niya.
So, yun
So,
yung gift?
so I was like, okay, I'll buy you new slippers. Nice new slippers, ganon.
Mm.
Sabi niya, okay, okay. So we literally went to the store and found, looked for a good pair of
Mm.
slippers, and then I bought it for him, ganon.
Pero with
Using
your
my credit
money.
card. Yeah,
Yon,
using
your
my credit
account.
card. Ganon.
Mm.
Tapos siya, okay, what's your Christmas gift to me? Tapos order siya online using his credit card, ganon. So kasi,
Ah.
yeah, like at the end of the month, so 'di ba iba-iba yung due date ng credit card. So
Mhm.
he still has his own credit card. We both have our separate credit cards kasi. But like for example, it's a household expense. Then at the end of the month, we pull it from our
Joint account.
finances, yeah,
Mhm.
to pay for that. But if it's like a personal thing, then bala dyan.
Yeah.
Bayam.
Do you have a credit? Is there a credit card also for this joint account?
No, 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 no. Our joint account is a savings.
Debit card.
So, it's a
Tama ba
debit. It's
yung
a
intindi
debit.
ko? Okay.
It's
Gets.
actually hindi ko alam. Oo, savings pa. Checking
Yan,
savings.
basta siyang credit card. Okay. Kasi it's like, I think it's a challenge for, ako naman na nahihirapan ako when I have to think of gifts for my parents. Kasi, parang, afford naman nila lahat ng gusto nila.
Oo.
And you have to think extra hard. Na I think that, is it just gonna get harder? Kasi even, na, like, they would sometimes talk to us about trying to get ideas. Like, if you think about it, yung parents ko, 31 years to set together. That's 31
Oo.
Christmases? That's a
Oo.
lot of gifts. That's so
Right.
many. And it's not like the Christmas is the only time you're going to buy something for yourself, di ba? So,
Yeah.
hirap nun.
Are you Are you a family who likes giving big presents ba on Christmas?
Um, well, yung parents ko to each other, yes. I think it's like an earning capacity thing. Parang
Right, right.
when I think same naman yung love eh. Same naman yung love ng 1,000 peso gift sa 5,000 peso gift, for example. I think ours is more of, hindi kami like, I know kasi there are some people na love languages gifts. So, maybe throughout the year, medyo chill lang yung pag-express nila ng love, tapos bigla lang babanat sa gift. Hindi kami masyado ganon. As in, may gift palagi. But, hindi siya yung parang main, I guess, yung main parang love language namin. It's more in the, I mean, I believe naman, it's more in the
Spending
everyday.
time.
Someone who's
Right.
very kuripot can say the same thing na, Dits, I love this person naman every day. Eh. That's what
Yeah.
truly matters. Ay,
Kami
nako.
sa family ko, may exchange gift. So, monito
Okay.
monita. So, we pick
Sorry, what?
para monito monita. Like Chris Kringle.
First time I heard of this. Okay.
Chris Kringle. You
I
know
know
how
Kris
you pick
Kringle.
names? Yeah, Chris Kringle
Uh,
is monito monita.
is it
We
Secret
have a
Santa?
monito. Yeah, something
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
Secret Santa. But it's
Mm.
called monito monita. I think it's Spanish. Anyway, so that's what we did. That's what I suggested this year. Para you only have to buy one present for one person. But then
Yeah.
we ended up giving presents to everyone. But yeah, that's like a money hack for Christmas.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a
It
big family. My gosh.
Yes, I heard that. Yung mga maraming siblings, ganun na lang yung style nila. Kasi
Diba?
kami tatlo lang eh. So, okay lang naman. Okay naman. Kasi, if you give more gifts, you get more gifts also.
Get more gifts. Yeah.
Yeah, so, panalo pa rin.
Fits
Panalo pa
lang.
rin. Yeah. Okay, going back to this, the financial aspect of a relationship, no? Obviously when you guys decided to get married, when you got married, parang no choice. You gotta talk about this joint account stuff and everything. But before you even were engaged, or before yeah, that time nga na parang you knew na you were going to spend the rest of your lives with each other. Have you guys been talking about money already?
Yeah. hmm
How
we have.
important is that financial capability, compatible capability? How important is the financial compatibility in a relationship?
Um, I guess because when we started dating, I we both knew like it's so weird. He knew how much I was earning. I knew how much he was earning.
Mm,
We were very open about that because we would go on dates. And then we were like, okay, parang pag-usapan na natin, like, let's be transparent with one another. Who pays for what?
yeah,
Do we split? Mga ganon. Like, and then we found out na because we were comfortable talking about our finances with
yeah,
each other, then we could, move forward. Because if not, parang it's gonna be such a huge problem. And pareho
mm,
kami, we don't want that. So I think it's super important that you both are, you know, what you said, financial, like the
financially
compatibility, yeah,
compatible. Yeah,
financially
yeah,
compatible,
yeah,
because it's it's inevitable in a relationship. Oh my gosh, you building a life together,
yeah.
you have to sit down and talk about it and really prioritize expenses,
Yeah.
savings, like how you're even going to move forward in your life
Yeah.
together. Building a house, for example, is a scary thing, stuff
Mm-mm.
like that.
I want to ask about this. I know you mentioned it already to me before. I'll touch on that a bit. You know how sometimes I want to ask a question, but as I
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
another
yeah.
question, nakakalimutan ka na. So, house. I'm gonna ask about the house.
Okay, okay.
But going back to this, I'm curious to know about this. Like, in the dating world, in getting to know people, in falling in love, ganon, with the when it comes to money. So in your experience, of course, we can only, get from our experiences, but I do believe yung mga viewers natin, which we are now at 2,317. Hello everyone. Hello Mafhe. Hello Kurachi. Thank you Sirius Padrid and Rochelle Desipida and Kathanahas. Wow, these are very interesting names. What countries are you guys from? Um, was it when you guys were girlfriend and boyfriend now? Was it like when you started talking about money? Parang dating na kayo for a long time? Was it one of the first things you talked about?
mm, Parang casual talks lang siya. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Kasi syempre, I would ask about like how he is, how his family is, stuff like that. So, he would tell me
Mm,
talaga what's going on, the struggles, yung mga ganon. So,
yeah.
yeah.
It started off, did it start off, you mentioned a casual. So it started off as a very casual thing. It wasn't the parang, hey, let's talk about
Yeah.
money. Di naman ganon.
Yeah,
Di naman.
no. Kasi before, when we were just dating, tapos he was really supporting his family, sobrang stress yun sa kanya. Yun yung,
Mm,
that's where his stress comes from. So
uh-huh.
whenever we talk about it, he's so angry. Parang hindi maganda yung relationship with money because it's sort of like a task. It's like, you know what I mean? Parang,
Yeah.
yeah. So medyo hindi naging maganda yung relationship. But when we got married, I made it a point to, when we talk about it, it's a positive experience. It's
Yeah.
maganda yung mood, hindi
Yeah.
siya mabigat, alam mo yun.
That's where it comes in it. Yung this famous saying na money can't buy happiness. Um yeah, you can't just like order happiness.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't. You can't. I was thinking, what if gutom ka tapos gusto mo? No, anyway, you can't. It's not directly na I earned this money and it can buy me happiness, but it can. I would say it can buy you peace of mind, which I think is
Yes.
way more valuable than happiness. Yung
Yeah.
happiness mo, you can be happy for a while, small rin yan. Pero yung peace of mind, that's why it's very, very important nga to have this conversation, to talk about it, for it to be a casual thing. And I understand nga, no, what we try to do here on the show, the vocation of my mom, my family, get to, open up the discussion. I just want to make it a reminder na I do hope that in the future, there won't be a need for what my mom does, diba? Na to teach
Right.
people, kasi it's something that's different pa eh, na, oh, hindi to masyado pinapag-usapan sa school, diba? Or it's not really talked about. Like, it's something else pa eh. It's not normal in the getting to know. Like,
Right.
for example, I have a Bumble account. They don't ask anything about money. They ask you what your interests are,
Yeah.
your political, how do you say, your political chorva. I don't know how what the term is.
Views. Okay.
Religion, views, religion, what movies you like, what music you
Mm.
like. I think the I think the money compatibility is even more important than your movie, TV show, and music. Music is very important. Yung movie and TV compatibility. Like, if you don't like, if I love Avengers and my partner hates Avengers, then don't watch Avengers
Okay lang.
together. But
Yeah.
if it comes to money, that's the one that's even really more important. So I think with this, last thing I'll say about this, before I go to the house, which I remember, I'm gonna ask about the house. It has to be. It's something that's casual. Now we're here to educate and
Yeah.
teach you like it's something else, but the goal is for it to be something na parang you have to teach that pala. Oh, parang I thought it was something so regular, so chill, so
Right.
casual
Right.
na it's a part of everyday life. Yeah. Quick water break lang ako.
Go lang. I'm curious lang, Anton. Like, if you were on a date, with
Mm.
this kunwari Bumble date, how
Mm.
would you
Never pa
start
ako
a
daw puro
conversation?
usap lang sa I'm
Coffee! Pero sa
no, no.
Bumble kasi, ano, ay syempre, nag-ano na tayo ng name ng dating app, no? But,
Oo.
dun kasi sa dating app na yun, di ba the girl usually
The girl lang pwede mag-message first.
mag-message? But then you
Oo,
can
oo.
tell her naman na, you can ask her out na eventually, eh, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't asked anyone out lang from the apps.
Right,
Yun yung
right, right, right.
sinasabi ko.
Anyway, if you were on a
Your
date,
question.
like on a coffee date, for example, and then
Mm.
you're getting to know this girl, how would you start that conversation? Like the money compatibility.
Ooh, how would I? Wow, di ko pa naisipin yun Kasi
Oh,
iba pa um
siguro mga
I
third
think
date,
it's
hindi naman
oo.
first date.
Oo. You know what? I am part of the problem. Na hindi siya first date na pinapag-usapan Kasi well, since we're still in a society, especially in Metro Manila, na I guess maybe if I do date in another country, baka iba na yung
Yeah.
rules. But I understand in Metro Manila, it's a touchy thing So I think you have to get comfortable. How I view it is, and also in my past relationships, it's when I got comfortable with the person more and you trust them and everything, dun mo
Yeah.
na parang ilalabas yung
Oo.
katotohanan. Yung, but about,
Paano ka to-
or when you talk
How do
about,
you,
when you talk about
well, like,
money.
what, do you ask a question? Like, how's your, like, what, do you have a
How's your
savings plan?
money?
How's your money?
Well, I think, in my experience, I think it comes out very casually because I think it helps na I'm in this family where,
Mm-mm.
hello, look at the show title, diba?
Yeah.
It's really money. Parang if you see the Fausto family, finance is gonna come up.
Yeah.
So it comes out there, and then doon ka na medyo parang, I think I started off with, well, obviously, like, who pays for the dates, diba? And then, when I talk about what I do, diba, as a freelancer, you understand this of all people na, there's a month where I'm the richest man on the world. Like, ang dami
Yeah.
kong kita. And tapos 2 months, biglang wala. Diba?
Wala.
That chaos, parang, I think it's in the kwento of like how my family is. Oh, we're a family finance. How my work is. Oh, medyo hindi siya super, how do you call this? Steady, regular. Yung may sweldo ka talaga every month.
Monthly.
It's in those stories. Tas dun lalabas yung parang how you get to know how you get to know me more as a person when it comes to money. I think that's where it's more natural na it's not you're not gonna know your financial capability by just asking how much do you earn, what do you
Yeah.
do with your money, ganyan. It has to come about from the natural, like when you talk about how you were at school, may kwentos din dyan. Like for me, when I was in college kasi, I was training a lot, so I would have to stay in school until nighttime, and you'd have to eat. And I always love to eat naman.
Yeah.
So, yung allowance ko, kasya na siya lang for my food. Pero syempre, ako naman, gusto ko magkakwatsa, I love to go out and drink, I love to go on dates, diba? Watch movies. Sa hosting ko na kinukuha yung yung
Pang other
puhunan,
things.
yung funds ko for the dates and other things. I think that was a very interesting thing. Wait, sorry, my mom messaged me lang saying, that mentioned ko raw to na I've helped my past girlfriends open their investment accounts. So I think, but
Ah,
pero that came in that came in parang years in the dating and much prodding and much reminding. Pero yun. So to the future potentials,
ah,
baka may mga additional. Hindi ako nagpapatawa. Nagpapayaman din. De, joke. Di naman, di
ah.
naman, di naman, di naman. Just giving you the tools, just giving you the, so yun, back to what I was saying, I think it's something that has to come out naturally. You can't force it eh. And it's, if you do force those conversations on money, it's gonna feel awkward.
Right, right.
Just like any
Yeah,
other topic naman.
that's true.
May follow-up question ka ba, Nani? Before I go
Wala na,
to...
wala na, wala na.
Okay, to the house. Let's go to
House.
the house. So right now, are you guys... Nasa Laguna ba kayo now?
Yeah, we're still in my
Mm-hmm.
parents' house because nga they don't stay in this house naman every day. Like
Mm.
this is their weekend home na.
Do
Um,
they live in Manila? Did they go back and forth?
they live in Mandaluyong, yeah, because they work
Okay.
in the city. Kami ni Josh work from home, so kami
Yes.
nandito. But we are moving out soon.
Mm-mm. Okay. Oh,
We are
tell me about this. Tell me about this.
Yeah, we decided na we are moving to I actually mentioned this to you before. I don't know, maybe,
Mm-mm.
but like it's a bungalow, but it has a huge outdoor area, which we need.
Ooh. Where's this
Yeah,
again? What's the location?
New Valley area. So
Mm-mm.
near lang
Okay.
naman. It's like
Near you.
15
Layo
near
nun.
my parents' house.
Oh, layo sa QC nun.
15 minutes away lang naman.
Oh,
So,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
oo. So we're still near here. But we decided kasi it's a space that we're going to make our own into our own home. Alam mo yun? Tapos kasi I have a lot of online content. So mga social brand partnerships and stuff that I need a space that I can make
Shoot.
into a studio. Yeah, as in
Yes.
talagang studio siya. So this space we're going to move into, we're renting it. It's not too much. That's why we chose like a smaller, more manageable space
Mm-hmm.
para hindi super bigat because rent, you know what I mean? The rent is like, sayang eh. Pero it's sort of like a work investment also because since it's a space that I can make a studio, I can shoot more content, then I can attract more brands. So, and si
Yes.
Josh then, ganon din siya. So, we decided na, yeah, this house is amazing. We want this to be parang a rest house for the whole family. We don't want to be here and working all the time. So, we want
Mm-mm.
that space to be where we work. And then when we come here to visit our
And
family,
this house you're living in.
yeah. Oh. I mean, no. We're
Oh.
living there na rin. We're living there. Pero it's more work, live. Gets mo ba?
So no,
Oh.
sorry, I don't. Please continue. Please continue.
Basta
My brain
work,
will catch up.
mas work siya. Parang, think of
Okay.
it as how do I say
Parang
this?
office
Like
in
an
a way.
office space, pero
Yeah.
syempre there's sleep. We will live there. We will live there
Yeah.
because our job naman kasi is to share our lives to our followers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like me as a content creator, no, not without without that. As a
As a
content
content
creator,
creator,
content
ganon. Mhm.
creator, I share talaga what I experience in life, like the
Yes.
products I use, how my house, stuff like that. So if I have that space talaga that's mine, then I'm more genuine to my viewers na
Mm-hmm.
talagang ito yung ginagamit ko, ito yung bagay sa ganito, like you can get this here
Yeah.
and da da da. As compared to if we're here in my parents' house, this is not our space. So yung mga stuff dito, it's not ours also. Like the
Ah.
sofa's not, diba?
It's your
Yeah, yung mga
parents.
little things, yeah. Yeah.
Gets.
So we're
And
moving in January.
next month na. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're renting the place. Is it may structure na siya as in
Mm-mm.
may bubong na as in it's a livable
Yeah, it's
place na.
already, like, we just have to move in. You know?
Wow. What went through the decision? What was the thought process behind why you guys are gonna rent it compared to owning and
But
buying property?
oh no, because we have plans of flying out of the country. So
Okay.
and work because I want to study um in Canada. So
Is this
by
where your sister
2020,
is?
no,
No, diba?
London
UK
yun eh.
ba?
Yeah,
Okay.
London, yeah. But I want to
London.
study dapat masters, but I decided na post baccalaureate, post post back course na lang. So it's shorter, 2 years. And then I
Mm-hmm.
can work na after. So Josh can also work in
Mm-hmm.
Canada. And then that's when
Mm.
we're going to invest na here in the Philippines when we, you know, earn more money
But
there.
your plan is still to retire, come back
Here.
here.
Yeah. Uh-uh.
Pero oh, it
Yeah.
makes sense nga. So mag-rent nga muna kayo kasi
Kasi
big
if we
investment yun eh.
purchase, big investment. So, might as well just use the money to start a life in Canada muna and then
Mm-mm.
come back here na lang when we have more, you know.
Yeah, that is a big investment. Speaking of big investments, I kasi if you buy property, it's gonna be harder for you to move countries to do
Mm-mm.
all those things. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of answers my next question.
Mm.
How about kids? How are the that's another wow. Yo, if you think that renting a house or buying a house expensive, I think a kid is the most I mean the kid is the most expensive thing that a human can create or a human can choose to have. How have the plans been in that? Like, do you guys want to eventually have kids, or
Of
are there plans
course.
set
Yeah.
already?
Imagine how beautiful our kids will be.
Oh, when they come out, six pack na
My
agad.
gosh.
Toned na yung muscles.
Hazel eyes. Joke lang. And, syempre, but since nga we have plans of going to Canada, then we have to, move the kid. Move the
Yeah.
kid plan to like a few years after pa. Siguro when I turn 29, 30, so, yeah,
Tagal
something
pa.
like that.
Dami mo pang
Medyo,
oras.
I want a kid now, but,
Mm-mm.
but,
Oh,
Josh, I
do
do,
you?
of course I do. But yun nga, syempre, it's a two-way thing. I mean, you can't just want a kid and ikaw na yun. Syempre, yung asawa
Mm-mm.
mo, di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
yeah. We've been talking about it and syempre, I mean, like when we talk about it, I always tell Josh, what if I'm pregnant? What if
Just
next
to
month,
see.
gonna? And then he's like, okay. And then, parang, okay, whatever God gives us, di ba, syempre, alangan namang mag-no ka doon. So,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll
So
see, but,
it's in the plan. Yeah, yeah.
mm-mm.
Okay, very interesting. Very exciting times ahead.
It's
Eh,
scary.
oh, oh yeah. It is,
It's
it is. I would
scary.
say, I get scared about my life sometimes, about yung anong gagawin ko sa buhay ko, ganon. Pero I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to compare and say who has a scarier life. But then, gets kita in another way that it is scary nga, making plans and all those things.
Yeah.
That is why, leads me back to this point. Oh, galing ng segue ko. That's why we gotta get our finances in check.
Yeah,
Because
of
no
course.
matter how scary life is going to be scary. I would say life is scary. Making big decisions is scary. Huge life changes are scary, but they become just a little less scary if you got your finances in check, diba?
True.
Okay, and with that, so we only have 5 minutes left. Danny, just want to take this time to thank you, of course, and to ask: is there anything that Josh, want to let our 2,500 viewers know? Invite them to anything they want to hear more about you or your love story, guys. They talk about it a lot. If you wanna get kilig, if you wanna get inspired, if you wanna get jealous, dad joke, di naman.
You
If
want
you
to
wanna learn more
cringe?
about them,
Charot.
yeah. Where can they find you and where can they do
Well,
so, Danny?
Josh streams here on Kumu. Usually every day. He's gonna start streaming again next year.
Mm-mm.
So
Tagal pa
January
nun.
schedule niya.
2 days.
Tagal pa. But yeah, usually he streams mga 6 p.m.
Mhm.
But in January he might stream in the morning. So if you haven't followed him here on Kumu, guys, follow niyo na siya at Josh Colette. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's just at Daniel Mortel. TikTok,
Mhm.
Dani Colette. Di ko alam. Dani Mortel. Di ko alam.
Wait, how
I'm
do you go
so
by na
confused.
paganaw? When I was saying Danny Colette, parang wow, sino to?
Uh,
How are you doing with the last
well,
name?
technically, sa passport ko, I'm gonna be Colette na. So,
Mm-mm.
after I get my passport, all my other IDs are gonna be Colette na. But I'm still Fuerte.
Yeah, you're Danny
Kasi my
Fuerte
bank,
Colette now.
my bank stuff, of course, Fuerte pa rin. This is what's
Ah.
funny, ha?
Oh.
When we started a joint account, sabi ko, oh yes, so we're married, ganyan, ganyan. Pero yung name ko, single pa rin. So they're like,
Mm-mm.
okay, single ka pa rin on paper. Sabi ko, why? Can I not be Fuerte and married?
Mm-mm.
Kailangan mag-change ng name? Anyway,
Okay. Wow. Oh, mahirap
kailangan
yun.
mag-change ka ng name to prove that you're married. Anyway,
Yeah.
wala lang.
Wow,
Anyway,
mahirap pa yun nun. That's another that's another discussion. That's another money discussion. But I don't. Good luck with
It's
that. Also,
hard. It's
if you're,
hard. Yeah, it's not
I can
easy to,
imagine.
like just make a joint account and like all your IDs and stuff, yung mga documents, yung mga assets
Yeah.
mo, papalitan mo lahat ng pangalan. It's hard.
Okay, yeah, guess ka na why the wedding is the day of the give it to the girl, give it to the
Right?
bride. I'm not gonna change my name. I'm gonna stay the
Exactly.
same. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, last question now. Last 2 minutes. What is your advice to all couples in this pandemic who are thinking about taking that next step? They want to get married. Diba? How is it like? What words of advice or wisdom, anything, opinions that you wanna share with our viewers?
Di ko alam eh. Bala kayo. Joke. Hindi.
Pwede rin.
I don't know, to each their own, honestly. It's not just a feeling. Like I see a lot of couples getting engaged. And I think during these times maganda to get married, like to hold a wedding because it needs to be intimate. You're saving a lot of
Yeah.
moolah.
Sorry, I
But
can't invite you,
marriage,
tita. I haven't talked to in 12 years. Kasi,
right? Perfect excuse. No, but the marriage part is the most important part. So if you really think that you guys can do it, like as a couple, like us, kami ni Josh, we decided now let's do it now because we didn't
Yeah.
want to wait any longer. Then go for it.
Amen. Amen. Okay, with that, thank you very much, Danny. Please send my regards to Josh. And thank you very much for joining and telling your story. To everybody, thank you for a wonderful year of shows here. Money Lessons with FQ Mom and Sons. We'll give you guys more episodes next year. You can follow me at Doremi Fausto. I have a new episode coming out tonight of the Anton on One podcast on YouTube and all podcast streaming platforms. Thank you very much. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.
Bye, Happy New Year.